Working there was another angry beehive altogether. I better check on Francis. You know how much trouble that boy can stir up. We need to talk. Mary Catherine tempered her firm words with a sweet smile that didn't match the worry in her blue eyes. Soon. Her friend never worried about anything. Leastways, not that it showed. Torn, Jennie paused. What's wrong? Nothing. Nothing new. Mary Catherine clapped for Mark's single into right field. Jennie automatically joined her and the other parents. The store was my idea. Folks need the income. They're not making ends meet just farming. They haven't for a long time. It was a good idea. We're putting a lot of our precious savings into the monthly lease payments and the renovations. Turning the space from a butcher shop into Amish treasures had been a major undertaking, but one they'd accomplished together. So far, there's only a trickle of customers. The tourist season is only just beginning. Jennie let her gaze wander across the crowd along the sideline. No Francis. Give it time. Everyone thinks it's a good idea. Mary Catherine frowned, her freckled nose wrinkled. I don't know about Freeman and the other men. They would have said no if they didn't. I'm a widowed woman. They want me to make myself useful, I reckon. You worked at the bed and breakfast. You're our scribe for the newspaper. You've always been helpful. Your middle name is helpful. My middle name is Catherine. She said it with such aggravation, Jennie giggled. Mary Catherine shook her head and grinned. Go find Francis. Make sure he's not climbing on the roof. We'll talk later. We also need to finish Bess's quilt. They'll be publishing their announcement any day now, if I'm not mistaken. And I've never been mistaken. Indeed, she rarely was. They needed to finish the blue and white double Irish chain quilt for Bess Weaver, who would leave her widowhood behind soon as she and Aidan Graber got around to telling the world they planned to marry. The Gamay elders were pleased with that, even though everyone pretended not to know. How could they miss the looks that passed between those two? The elders likely weren't so pleased with the remaining trio of widows, Jennie, Mary Catherine, and Laura Kaufman, who each had more than their share of years alone. Some things couldn't be helped, or were meant to be, or some other such silly platitude. Jennie kept busy and chose not to think about the empty corners of her life. If she didn't have a husband, she certainly couldn't be trotting off to work in the store. Her children already lacked a father. They needed their mother at home where she ought to be. Jennie tried to keep her tone conciliatory. Come by the house later. Pick up Laura on the way and we'll get in a few hours of quilting tonight. Good plan. We'll talk while we sew. Bring me a glass of lemonade when you return, if you don't mind. Mary Catherine scratched with plump fingers at barbecue bean sauce that had dried on her apron. Ketchup and mustard stains made for an abstract painting with the apron as an impromptu canvas. Her tone said the quilt would not be the only topic of conversation. All that burning hot dogs on the charcoal grill has given me a heat stroke. I'll cheer on the team. At 55 plus, Mary Catherine had the constitution of a much younger woman with vim and vigor that Jennie tried her hardest not to envy. Most days she felt much older than her age. Envy was a big, fat, slimy sin. Of course, lemonade and humongous slices of applesauce cake all around. Mary Catherine acknowledged the veiled compliment. She'd baked the cake, with a small grin. She leaned back in the chair with a contented sigh. No doubt, in seconds, the older woman would be snoozing. Swatting at a cloud of gnats, Jennie threaded her way through the cluster of folks visiting and eating homemade vanilla ice cream that called her name, even though she was stuffed with hot dog, chips, baked beans, and coleslaw. No Francis at the food tables. No curly brown-haired, dimple-cheeked little boy who looked like an angel and raced around like a dervish that reminded her all too much of Atlee. Don't do it.